Welcome back, everyone, to the No Business Soccer Podcast. Everybody, we have done Bundesliga, we have done Serie A, and now it's time for La Liga. We have some awards for last season and a couple of news and notes, a little bit of Austin FC sprinkled in there as well. And I think we're ready to go. Snooze, kick us off.
Let's dig in. Yes, that is right. Welcome back, everybody, to the No Business Soccer Podcast. As your boy Hype Man Vic was just saying, we're here with the full fam. We got Brainiac J Fam in the back, Danny P on the ones and twos, and of course, we want to know. Everybody wants to know, what are you sipping on, dog?
Well, I'm just in a good mood, so I just went and got my favorite bottle, which happens to be Stag Junior. It's the 24B batch that we had, 127 proof, so it's 63% alcohol and a half. And I poured a lot on accident.
Hey, that's
and
like
we
3
have
fingers right there.
Yeah, and we have, as Snooze told us off camera, we have a pretty short show today, so I have a lot of drinking.
You don't have to finish it before the show's done. Like that's not a rule.
I've made a commitment. We gotta do it.
Oh, hey, that's my boy. Stay committed.
Well, and if I'm gonna be committed to this, why don't y'all be committed to us? Go down there, smash that subscribe button, smash that like button. Kind of helps us out. Lets other people know on YouTube that, hey, we're kind of cool. Maybe you want to check us out and everything. It's the best way to support us. So appreciate it. Appreciate it if you would. Oh, and cheers.
Yeah, I was going to say, we got to, there you go. Cheers them. And as he mentioned, we have some news and notes from around the leagues, mostly just Liverpool buying all the best players on the market. We'll talk about that, I guess. And then obviously, as you can see by the attire that my boy Hype Man Vic's wearing, we got some Austin FC news to go through. And then we're going to talk about all the stuff that went on in La Liga in the 24-25 season, give out some awards, an inaugural award. Stick around for that one. I promise you it's going to be good. But before we jump into all that, let's go boots on the ground in Austin, Texas for the Austin FC Minutes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. MLS is on a break because of the Gold Cup, because of the Club World Cup. So there was no game this past weekend, which is a good thing because that means Austin FC can't lose. Great idea. Good job. And then not only that, the MLS All-Star roster has been announced, and your own Austin FC have 2 selections on that team. Number 1, Brandon Vasquez, Superman, the number 9 in the middle. And, of course, your man on goal, Brad Stuver. Long overdue for Brandon Stuver. And how did they get on there? I would say it's because we have a great team with a lot of depth and everything.
Of course.
Most other people would say because, the coach is our head coach and we got to pick. So who knows? But congratulations to Brandon Vasquez. Congratulations to Brad Stuver. Long overdue for Brad Stuver again. And that MLS All-Star game is going to be against Liga MX All-Stars next month. I think the 20, I don't know when it is. We'll bring it up again.
When it's hotter than right now. Yay.
Yes, it's going to be terrible. And also Messi, just for all you Messi fans out there, he was he was on the roster for the MLS All-Stars. Of course, he got voted in just because. So will he play? Who knows? We bought tickets in case he does.
Yeah. We gambled a couple months ago.
Yeah. That's basically all the Austin FC news. We do have Seattle this coming weekend. It's going to be at 9:30 p.m. Central start time. Because they are in Seattle, so we have to cater to their time zone. And it should be a pretty good game. Let's see how we look back in on the pitch,
back in the trenches.
Yeah.
Well, I will say that I don't know if Brandon Vasquez was voted on or if he and Stuver were called on because of the coach, but Stuver deserved it 2 years ago. So even if he's brought in this time, like he might not deserve it this season, but he's put in the work. He should have been there multiple times already. So.
He's definitely earned it for like 3 years. He has the most saves like almost every year. He's in top 5 saves and top 5 clean sheets this year. So I mean, he deserves it. It's just it's hard with the fan vote and everything like that to get in. For
who cares? Forget about it.
But congratulations.
Okay. Yes, congrats, Stu, our man, our boy, our dog. I don't know any more superlatives for that. So, okay, well, let's jump into some of the news And as we alluded to a couple of weeks ago, Florian Little Uzi Verts is going to be a Red. He is officially official. Him, Kirkes, Frimpong, the Mamardashvili. I mean, come on, they're just going out, balling out. And I have some thoughts about this, Vic. I have some thoughts. I don't know if I should save it for our preview pod or if I should talk about it now. But either way, I'm very jealous. We've known since the summer and even before that, Florian Wirtz is one of my favorite players right now. So fun to watch. I watched him tear it up in the Bundesliga for a few seasons, and like now, if I want to watch him, I have to watch him play for Liverpool, and it's not the best.
It's okay.
I might be going to BD Riley's with you just so I can watch him play. He's so awesome. Of course, I told you for a while now that Luis Diaz is one of my favorite players on your team too. So everything's just pissing me off about this. They win the league, they buy the best players, and there they are. And I remember hearing a couple months ago that they were interested, and a lot of reports were that Liverpool were saying, yeah, we're interested, but who isn't interested? He's probably going to Bayern. And he ended up choosing Liverpool over Bayern. The best German young talent in the world is going to Liverpool, not Bayern Munich. That's freaking crazy. So congrats, Vic. I know that's the most fun.
Beautiful club in the world, Liverpool.
Yes, most beautiful club.
What's crazy is that
one side of Liverpool.
in the world. What's crazy is that we had some Isak talks. Like we were thinking about also signing Alexander Isak. Probably not going to happen, but like they haven't completely closed that door yet, and that would be crazy. That would be so stupid.
He would be break the same price as Florian. Yeah, maybe a little less, but like he would be up there.
Crazy, yeah. But it's not going to happen. So it's just crazy that the talks haven't stopped on that.
Well, like Frimpong is really, really good on that on the wing defender, whatever you want to call him. Of course, he's left back, right back, one of those. But either way, he's very good at getting the ball into the box, and that's what they're bringing him in for. And then, of course, you get Kirkes from Bournemouth. Sounds weird whenever I say my American accent. Usually in my head it's Bournemouth, but I can't say that out. I just did anyway. But the point is, whenever we talked about him in the summer, last summer, he was balling out in the Euros, and then we were talking about how he was the young player to watch for Bournemouth. And look at him now, gets a move. So hey, maybe we were on it before everybody else was. That's all I'm
saying. So. No business exclusive. How about that? That's what we're going to call it.
And I don't know if we had this already. I should have watched it back before the show, but Thomas Frank is officially official for the club Tottenham Hotspur, and we shall see how it turns out. I'm pretty excited for it. Dude did amazing things for Brentford, and it means that we might be getting some players that are coming in, or I guess going out from Brentford. But that team is being torn apart right now. So they're trying to get Johan Vissa as well. They're trying to get everyone. Frank is already on ours. He's taking the staff with him. So maybe we should leave Brentford and Bournemouth alone. They if they want to stay up, they need to have some players. So they'll have a lot of cash, though. I'll tell you that much. Anything else we're missing right now? I think that's it. I don't think on the European front, we already talked about Kevin De Bruyne going to Napoli. So that's freaking crazy. Actually, I heard a rumor, and of course it's just a rumor. There's nothing going on right now. That Darwin Nunez is going. Well, they're trying to get him to go to Napoli, but for some reason, Liverpool think that he's worth 70 billion. That's insane. And I was listening to a podcast. They were talking about it. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
I was going to say he has the potential to be. I don't know if he's ever played up to that, but Nunez takes up a lot of space. He's fast. You got to mark him. You can't just leave him. He might miss on his own, but you don't know that. I mean, you got to mark him. And yeah, I think he just takes up enough space to be lethal up there. And I wish he played more, but or scored more too.
They're saying that Lukaku's there and Kevin De Bruyne is there, obviously, and McTominay, and now they're trying to get Nunez. And it'd be crazy because in the podcast they said that you're going to see De Bruyne putting in a perfect ball into the box to Darwin Nunez just to miss it off the post, and then McTominay is going to have to scoop it up and score and do all the dirty work. And you know what? I'm all for it. That would be pretty cool. If there's anyone that can make him a winner, though, it's Conte. I mean, not a winner in the sense of the league. He already won the league. He's just, questionable as to if he is one of the better players on that team. Okay, enough talk about Liverpool for this episode. I think we should just jump right into all of the stats and everything that is going on in this past 24-25 season, and of course, give out some awards to the. Well, I'll say let's go to Spain. How about that?
Let's do it. To La Liga.
I forgot how cool that.
Yeah, sorry.
I was just going to jump into it, and I would have skipped it. I would have skipped it, and it's so smooth, and I would have been a detriment to all mankind there. But well, go ahead. What were we going to say? You going to say something?
I was just going to say agreed. Yeah, I agree. All detriment.
Oh, agreed. Of course. Well, let's jump into some of the category leaders for La Liga, and then we'll jump into some awards and some people we're looking forward to. So, first off, the one that everybody's watching, Goals For. This is the top 3 clubs in the Goals For department, and the third one actually was kind of a surprise to me. You kind of know who the first 2 are going to be, right? I don't even have to say those yet. But third was Villarreal with 71 goals, and that makes sense. They had Tierno Berry, they had Ayosi Perez, Alex Baena balling out this season. Villarreal was one of the most fun teams to watch in La Liga, and they end up getting into the Champions League, so that's going to be freaking awesome to see them in there. And, of course, 71 goals, that's a lot, but nowhere near the top team here. And then we have the second-place team, Real Madrid, with 78 goals. And I'm going to have someone check my facts on this. I think I didn't update this number right because it just seems off to me. But the number 1 team is your Barcelona with 102 goals this season. There's no way that's right. It just seems off. Okay. Well, that is insane. 102 Crazy. Goals. That is what, like 30 more than Real Madrid, or almost, right? I mean,
24. Yeah, 24.
There you go.
Yeah, 24 more goals. Math. Crazy.
So obviously Barca were balling out. We saw it all season. But again, the most surprising one was number 3, Villarreal, because there's a lot of teams up there, and I think it can rotate. You know that even though Atletico Madrid are usually the third team, they're not going to be scoring that many goals. But Villarreal got it done. Okay, let's move it along. Goals against. Vic, this one was shocking to me. We have Real Madrid in third with 38, and the champs Barcelona right behind them in fourth with 39. So the 2 teams at the top, third and fourth on the list of goals against. Second, Atletico Madrid with 30, and of course that makes sense. Atletico Madrid, they're built off of that defense, and then they counter and get a goal, and then that's how they win 1-0. Unless Sorloth comes on and he scores a hat trick in 3 minutes. It's just what he does. But the top team, defensively speaking, in the goals against category in La Liga was Athletic Club with 29 goals allowed. Vic, I believe there's 38 games in a season.
Yes.
Right? So
there are, yes.
That they let in less than a goal a game, and they end up getting into the Champions League for their I was going to say their habits, but that's not a way that you want to call that, for their reward. But we'll talk about them more in a second. Hey, I don't want to give away any I don't know, spoiler alert, I guess.
Spoilers, yeah, spoilers.
Okay. I was going to say something different, but it wouldn't have made sense. So let's move on. This next one, the Golden Boot. It's what everybody cares about. It's the glamorous award here. And number 3, my personal favorite, one of my boys, Anta Budimir from Osasuna with 21. Congratulations, sir. He was third in this list. And the 2 people above him, it makes sense because they're freaking legends. Number 2, Robert Lewandowski with 27 goals. And then, of course, you know who got the top spot? Kylian Mbappe with 31 goals in his first La Liga season. He just came over and decided that he would go off, which makes sense. And it's funny that we see that now because at the end of the day, Real Madrid didn't have a great season. But then you just see how high they are up in all these categories, and the fact that Mbappe scored 31 goals. I mean, this is crazy. Just tells you that whenever you're a team that has that much success, they expect so much more. So these accolades mean nothing unless they're winning everything, and they did not. So, Vic, anything surprising here?
I mean, not really. Maybe just that there's no, anybody from Barcelona. Oh, yeah, there is. Never mind. So, I don't know.
Yeah, that might be a slip though, because he could be going. That's the rumor. He might be off.
That's true.
In the future.
I don't know. Yeah, I just maybe that it's not number 1, but I mean, Kylian Mbappe is gonna kill it wherever he goes all the time. So
Kylian, he's gonna kill it. I see what you did there. Killing it,
You see
Mbappe.
that? Killing it, Mbappe. There you
New
go. That's
nickname
nice.
alert. New
I didn't
nickname
even.
alert.
That wasn't even on purpose. That's just off the dome. Like
Hey, killing it,
Matt
Mbappe. It's my boy.
killing it, Mbappe.
People probably turned it off by now.
Yeah.
All right, let's
Sorry,
move
guys.
on.
Sorry.
Assist leaders. We have starting in the third place, I guess, in the assist leader list. We have a, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4-way tie. They all had 8 assists, and I put all their names on here because they're big ones. Nico Williams, Vinicius Jr., Jude Bellingham, and Isco all had 8 assists in La Liga last season. Your number 2 is also a tie, but it's only a 2-place tie with Rafinha and Alex Baena with 9. And then nowhere just blew these guys out of the water was your assist leader for 24-25 season. That is Lamine Yamal with 13. I mean, this dude is insane. And we will talk about him more in a second. But man, how crazy is it to see that he's 17 years old and doing all this? I mean, we say it every time he does something, though. Like, his age is just going to become like a factor. We're just going to come up to it, but you can't. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that's it's yeah.
So crazy. So
I read a conspiracy that he's like older, but they're like hiding his birth certificate or something. I don't know. So stupid.
Like,
but I think it's just like
Cuban little leaguers or like Puerto Rican little leaguers.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
They're like, there's no way he's this good. He's that age.
Oh.
Like, I think people are just hate. That's Real Madrid fans. They're the ones who are coming up with these conspiracies for sure. They're just like faking their IDs online. Okay. Before we jump into the awards, I just wanted to call out. I've done this for the other leagues, so we're going to do it here. We had 6 manager changes in this La Liga season. Valladolid twice, Las Palmas, Alaves, Valencia, Sevilla all ended the season with a manager that they did not start the season with. And just to talk about the season a little bit, this was coming into this past season with Barcelona specifically. Obviously, they won the league. I remember talking about how this is going to be, and not just me, I'm not an expert here, but I've read all these articles coming in, and I came to the conclusion that most people assumed that they were going to be in a rebuilding phase. Maybe not a rebuilding as most teams do, because they're still one of the biggest clubs in the world. I would say wealthiest, although they have a lot of debt. But either way, it just seemed like they were a team that were putting too many young players out to compete on all fronts. And damn, they make us look stupid. They dominated. And they maybe not in points to Real Madrid. They weren't that far ahead of them, but they beat them 4 times this season. So it wasn't really close because you knew if it ever came down to it, they would just beat Real Madrid. No big deal. But that was not what we expected. And that was crazy to see for Hansi Flick's first season. And then, of course, there's a lot more to cover. But before we do all of that, we're going to go into our awards because I feel like if I start talking, I'll be ruining some of these. So, Vic, please take it away.
Yes. Of course, you have the No Business Soccer Podcast Awards. And the first award we are going to announce is the most surprising team for the 2024-2025 La Liga season. And that goes to none other than, drumroll please, Rayo Vallecano. They are the most surprising team for the 2024-2025 La Liga season. And Snooze, break it down a little bit for us on their season.
Yeah, there's it's pretty easy to see why Rayo were chosen as the surprising team, because there's a lot of teams in La Liga that did well, but most of them, they kind of stick where they do in the table. Rayo was not that way. Rayo finished in 8th place in this season. That was good enough for a Conference League qualification spot, and this ends a 25-year drought with no European football for Rayo. I mean, 25 years is like, that's awesome but in and of itself. See what I did there. But then you take into consideration where Rayo have been lately in the league, and it kind of explains why they're the most surprising team. They finished dead bottom in 2018-2019, so they spent 2 seasons in the second division. They were relegated for 2 seasons, finally getting back into La Liga in the 21-22 season. And since then, those 4 seasons they've been up. They've been 12th, 11th, 17th, and now they finish in 8th. Like, what was the difference? How did that happen? And you might ask that question. What changed? Well, the biggest change that I could find anyway, from the season they finished 17th to now, is that the amount of goals they've scored. Last season, they ended the season. The last time that they were in 17th, they were finished with 29 goals. And this season, they end with 41. So it's a massive amount of goals. And mostly the way that these games played out, if you watched any Rayo football matches this past season, they were 1-0 games. They were 2-0, something like that. They were very low scoring. So yeah, you might see 29-41. That is a big amount of goals. What is that, Vic? Do the math real quick.
No, just wasn't looking at the numbers.
29-41.
12. Sorry.
Oh, math.
Look at you go. Good job.
I know,
good
right?
job.
So yeah, 12 goals. Obviously, that's a lot. But whenever you consider it, they probably were game winners. I was trying to look into some of the details, but without having to go into every individual match. But just watching how they play is probably the deciding factor in these. And it wasn't like they had all one guy doing it or anything like that. Their top scorer was Jorge de Frutas, and he had 6 goals. Also, de Frutos is his last name, which is of fruits. Like frutos, is frutas the same thing? I don't know, but either way, George of the Fruits, he gets 6 goals. So it's not like they had one dude banging them all in. They just kind of had a team effort. But what really sealed their European run was the momentum they caught at different times throughout the season. And we talked about it during the season, but to kind of look at it from a holistic view now, it's insane. From mid-September to October, they went 5 matches unbeaten. From December to February, they went 9 games unbeaten, and then they closed out the season without a loss in their final 5 games. So, yeah, 5-5-9. They have many streaks. What is that? 19 matches where they had streaks without losing, and that is pretty much what gets the job done. I remember at one point they were closer to getting into the European places that they ended up getting, closer to that than they were to the relegation battle. And the coach was like, dude, we were just in 17th last season. I'm just trying to stay up. Why are y'all talking about Europe? And we all believe they can do it, and they did it. They got it done. And what I will say is for some of the other surprising teams that we've done in our leagues, they seem like they have a little bit more standing power or lasting power, whatever you want to call it. Rayo might be a flash in the pan. I don't know. Just we'll find out. That's a big gap. 12 goals from last season to this season. But either way, it ended with the Conference League qualification. So they're going to have more money coming in. They're going to have more eyes on them. They're going to have more games. And I'm all for it. We'll see how it ends up being. But congratulations to Rayo Vallecano, our surprising team of the season. Congratulations.
Congratulations, yes. Rayo Vallecano.
That's going to be fun.
Everybody, round of applause. Round of applause. Yeah. Round of applause.
Hey, we need a clap noise like a radio show.
We need a soundboard or something. We need to get a soundboard.
Yeah, come on.
We'll figure it out. But we'll have some claps, and then of course we're gonna have some booze because we are about to roll right into our next award. Is it still an award? It's kind of like a Razzie. We'll see. But this is the most disappointing team of the 2024-2025 La Liga season, and this one goes to, drum roll again. We need that soundboard. Sevilla wins our 2024-2025 most disappointing team of the La Liga season. And Snooze, tell everyone how they let us down.
Yeah, this one wasn't. It's not fun to write these whenever they don't do good, but I have to because Sevilla is a team that I usually root for. Man, they're always fun to watch. But let's jump into some of my notes here. So Sevilla finished the season 17th, just above the relegation zone. And honestly, we can't say that's a big surprise. We can't say that we didn't see it coming because the last 3 seasons they finished in 12th, then they finished in 14th, and then now they finish in 17th. So there's a steady decline, and it's not just a decline on the pitch. There's a decline off it as well. And this is the same Sevilla team that has won 7 Europa League titles. And maybe it isn't because you can tie in the poor results in the pitch directly to the front office decisions. Maybe it's not the same team anymore because of all of these things going on around it. But either way, it really isn't fun to watch. But apparently, what's happened in Sevilla is they've racked up a massive debt, and they kind of have, you partner with that with no European football because right there, winning Europa Leagues are bringing money in. So you have all this debt. You don't have European football, which means you don't have more money coming in. Now you can't sign quality players. And it's just a bunch of bad decision after bad decision from the leadership, and everything kind of funnels down from the top. And really the troubles, they don't stop there either, because you would expect that a team going through that turmoil, the fans wouldn't want to make it worse, would they? And they do actually, because there's been a lot of protests. And of course, I won't say that protests are a bad thing. Spurs were protesting a lot this season too. It's not that. What I'm talking about is at one point, after let's see. Let me make sure I get my notes right here. So the worst of these protests, and one I'm talking about, was back on May 10th following Sevilla's loss to Celta Vigo. And an angry mob of fans broke down a gate and stormed the training facilities. Players had to stay overnight. Security had to use rubber bullets to clear out the crowd. And needless to say, it doesn't appear to be any light at the end of the tunnel for Sevilla right now. And it could get worse before it gets better, unfortunately. But I've always really enjoyed them. I've always really enjoyed to see them and their European greatness and how they always tend to win Europa League and then kind of make a run in the Champions League. And it's just like a cycle every season. It's like Europa League, Champions League, and then go back to Europa League, Champions League. But they just fallen so far right now. I don't know how they get pick themselves back up, but hopefully next year begins that process. I'm not holding my breath, I guess I'll say. All right.
Yes, unfortunately, Sevilla. If we had that trombone noise, wow, 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 wow,
yeah,
something like that,
apropos,
we would play it right now. So, unfortunately, your award Sevilla is in the mail, and please take care of it. Shine it up. I don't know what it is, but we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. But we will go ahead and turn our heads back up and think about hope, because what we're going to award now as a team, we're looking forward to most next season for the 2025-2026 La Liga season. And the team we are looking forward to most will be Athletic Club. And why are we looking forward to Athletic Club, Snooze?
Well, if Nico Williams gets sold, this might not be as fun to look forward to, but I will say in my notes here, you'll hear why it's not too big of a deal if they lose him, maybe. But either way, Athletic Club finished comfortably in fourth, and I say comfortably. Yes, they were level on points with Villarreal, but they had been dominating and pretty much cemented fourth place for a while. But I'll talk about that in a second. But they get into the Champions League in the process. And this is the first time they've been in the Champions League since the 2014-2015 season, which, long time ago. Welcome back, my dudes. And we all know about their transfer policy. We all know that they only sign players from the Basque region in Europe. And if you don't, the Basque region in Europe it's smaller than the size of Connecticut. And that's where the only place that they will sign players. And that's not like a La Liga thing. That is a them thing. That's just their culture. That's what they do there. And so it makes anything that they accomplish in the league and in Europe mind-blowing because of how they recruit. But that's just right. It's not new. Everybody knows that. It is what it is. But recently, they've been a mid-table team right below European places, not necessarily getting in, but not necessarily ever worrying about relegation. They're just sitting at 8th, 9th, something like that. So to get fourth place, it's a big, big deal for them. And consider that in the past 5 seasons, they finished 10th, 8th, 8th, 5th, and are now in 4th. So obviously, what happened? There was 10th, 8th, 8th, 5th, now 4th. Well, let me tell you, Vic. I know you're going to ask that question.
I'm dying to know. Dying to know. Yeah,
it's
killing me.
The thing that I can correspond it to is the rise of some of their talent breaking out and kind of coming through. And we all know Nico Williams, obviously. But then also they have Alex Berenguer. They have Ohan Sunset. But, I mean, this past season, they all played well. And there was a good amount of games that Nico Williams was out injured or wasn't playing. I remember for the beginning of the season, he didn't play too much because he was winning a Euros. And so he had to obviously recover from that. But they still got the job done. They still got into the Champions League. And that's kind of why I feel like Nico Williams, he had the lowest goal total that he's had in a while too. So it's not like he was out there destroying everybody and carrying the team on his back. I think they can get stuff done without him, and they can bring in a lot of money, which doesn't really matter because they can only buy players from that one area anyway. So I don't know who that is. Okay, well, let's move on. So they definitely tailed off towards the end. I was going to talk about this earlier. They could have kind of pushed further, but they weren't really going to catch Barca. So they put all their eggs in the Europa League home final because it was in San Mamés, which is their home stadium. And they got knocked out, which crazy, by Manchester United. And so, yeah, they definitely were level on points with Villarreal. I'll give you that, but they could have done better. Overall, just a very entertaining team. They're fun to watch. They were consistent in the league. And, I mean, even if they lose Nico, we'll be fine. We'll be good. They'll find something else. They seem to have some kind of factory over there where they just pop out these badass footballers. So we'll see how it goes. I still think they're going to be tough to beat, and I can't watch them I can't watch them. I can't wait to watch them in the Champions League and in La Liga next season. So that is why I think we're all in agreement here. The team we're looking to forward to the most is Athletic Club. Don't call them Athletic Bilbao, okay? Don't do it.
Yeah, sorry. Athletic
Did you? No,
Club. I know. I've always called them that. I'm sorry. I was wrong.
No, me too. I got called out too.
Well,
we're
congratulations.
Yes,
we are. We're gonna fix it. But congrats. It's gonna be fun next season to definitely hone in on Athletic Club. But not only are we looking forward to teams next year, we're also looking forward to players. And one of the players we're looking forward to see most next season in the 2025-2026 season will be, I don't know if we're doing drum rolls for these because it's just like, whatever. We'll do a drum roll. Isco from Real Betis. And Snooze, tell us why Isco is on our radar for next year.
Listen, I almost chose Isco for the player of the season, but he didn't get it. And I can't tell you why, but my notes are backwards here. I would have told you. I would have spoiled the next award. But just know that I almost chose him. And that might sound crazy because Isco, he had an incredible season, but there are people that had better seasons. But you just got to consider this dude's backstory and kind of where he's been the past few seasons. First off, when he was sold from Real Madrid to Sevilla back in December of 2022, it seemed like that was just what he needed to get back on track after kind of spiraling out at the tail end of his career in Real Madrid, or in Madrid, I guess I should say. But Sevilla didn't work out for him either, and he actually went nearly a year without a club. He wasn't even playing any type of football at all. And his first season, he gets picked up by Betis, obviously. And his first season, he was promising. He scored 8 goals, got 5 assists, not bad. But he ended up banged up and injured a lot towards the end of the season. And that wasn't this season. I'm talking about the season prior. And what happened is the penultimate game of that 23-24 season, what is this? Let me get the bone right. He broke his fibula. I think that's the big one. I think that's like the hardest bone.
So. Yeah.
Or maybe that's tibula. I don't know. Either way, it sucks. And so he broke that with in the second to last game of that season. So needless to say, he was out for quite a while. And he just came back this season in December. After watching him ball out for all the spring, it just felt like he was there all season. But if you remember, though, the little magician Isco here, he was making things happen for Betis. And it kind of coincided with a lot of different things for Betis. They started climbing up that table because also Anthony came calling. And they decided they were going to make a magical half-season run to a final in Europe. They didn't get it done, unfortunately. Screw Chelsea, but Betis were doing what they were doing, and Isco was kind of the one pulling the strings in midfield. He was making things happen, and he played 9 fewer games this season than he did last season, and he scored 9 goals and 8 assists, which are both more than he had last season with more games. So hopefully, all of this to say, I hope he has a healthy season coming up, fully healthy, full season with Isco at Betis, and maybe, just maybe, cross your fingers, Anthony comes back, and we get to see them kind of run this back and have a full season. And they're in the Europa League, so maybe they make a run at that tournament as well. But either way, I can't wait to watch them tear up the Europa League and La Liga next season. And that is why Isco is I'm saying my, but it's all of ours player we're looking forward to next season.
Yes. Congratulations, Isco. And it's going to be fun to watch him with the full season under the belt with Anthony and all in the Europa League and everything. It's going to be fun to watch next year. Yeah.
He needs to
hopefully.
They just need to buy him. Yes. They just need to buy him.
But we will see. Time will tell. And can't wait for next season. But now, Snooze, it's time. You know what time it is. It's time for the winner of the inaugural Golden Churro Award that's presented to the No Business Soccer Podcast Player of the 2024-2025 La Liga season. And this one goes to, drum roll, the Dream, Lamine Yamal. Snooze, tell us what kind of crazy season this teenager has had for Barcelona this year.
It's weird when you put it that way, but he definitely is a teenager for a while still. Yes. I mean, you don't need me to tell you why Lamine Yamal was chosen for this award. But I will say it's probably the biggest award that he's had. He's won the Euros, he's won La Liga, and now he's won the Golden Churro.
Yes.
And man, he is excited. I tell you that much right now.
Look, the tippy top of awards right there.
We saw flashes of his talent at the tail end of last season. And then, of course, he balled out in the Euros. And when I say last season, I mean like not this past season, but the season prior. And then he balled out in the Euros. And we were all in awe with just watching that tournament unfold and be like, wow, he was 16 for most of that tournament until the knockout rounds. And he turned 17. So, but this season at one of the biggest clubs in the world with all the pressure, he was healthy for most of the season, produced 9 goals and 15 assists, as we talked about earlier, and a further 5 goals and 4 assists in the Champions League for Barcelona. And it just seemed like he did it without worry, without any doubt in his mind that he would do it. And it's just crazy to see that for a guy so young. But this is also while becoming kind of a central figure for Barcelona, a vital part of that squad, because so much so that this teenager, when he was out injured, it was like we went 2 or 3 games where they were just not getting wins. And I mean, a 17-year-old has just come in and changed this team completely. I can't believe it. And this guy might be one of the best. I mean, he's definitely one of the best in the world right now, and he might go on to do more than that. We've all seen him do his trademark, cut in from the wing, hit a perfect curler, nail in that top corner, and yet nobody knows how to stop it. We know what he's going to do. We know what he's going to do. And we can't stop it. Not we. I'm definitely not going to try to stop it, but they can't stop it. And really, after the flurry of attention and accolades and everything that he's accomplished this past year, Barcelona locked him up on a new deal, keeping him in Barcelona until 2031, which he will be the tender age of 23. Tender, weird word to use there, but you know what I mean. 23 years old. Oh man, that is crazy to think about. So
yeah.
I mean, he won the Golden Churro, but just get used to hearing this name a lot. Lamine Yamal, he is that dude, and he's already proven at the highest level. I mean, obviously the World Cup is a little bit bigger than the Euros, but I mean, not by much as far as the attention and everything it gets. Yeah, but everybody watches the Euros too. So, I mean, he's this generation's Messi or Ronaldo or whatever you want to call him, just at a much, much younger age. The biggest question, the only thing that can stop him really is him, because he's so young. And how does he cope with all this fame and all the money? There's already some crazy stuff going on about him, hitting up some OnlyFans stars and doing crazy stuff. I mean, golly.
Shoot, man. Shoot.
Right. I mean, I don't even know if I kissed a girl by the time I was 17 years old. Dude over here. Never mind. We don't need to have that conversation. Anyway. Congratulations. And yes, Lamine Yamal, your Golden Churro is in the mail. And since we liked you so much, it's actually covered in gold. So it costs a lot of money. So be sure that, you put it up somewhere where everyone can see it. But, we'll talk about it, where to put it up and everything like that. So congrats, Lamine Yamal. Good job. Congrats, sir. Congrats. And that is it for our La Liga 24-25 wrap up and award ceremony. We need to have ties and stuff next time. Vic, go ahead, take us home, bud. Well, again, everyone, thank you for spending some time with us, telling you guys about the La Liga Awards from 2024-2025. Be sure to like and subscribe. We have the Premier League Awards coming up next week. And not only that, Premier League season starts in a month and a half. It starts. So what better way to get prepped than liking, subscribing, so that you get all of our videos once we do some look ahead, once we do some previews for the season. And we're going to have a good time. It's going to be fun. And just like and subscribe. It's easy. It's free. But other than that, follow us on all of our social media. Everything is at No Business Soccer Podcast, except for Twitter, except for TikTok. That's at No Biz Sock Pod, because those names are way too damn long. And we will all talk to you very soon. Peace.